Hey guys, Coffee here. Today I wanted to make a class guide for my main character, the Templar playing subclass Paladin. Why I play Paladin? Partially because of my ping being an Aussie, but mostly because of the utility that it brings to large siege fights. Here's a list of pros and cons. Pros: decent group heals, great sustain, amazing crowd control, an execute button to finish kills, and great solo class for PvE. The cons: low damage, easily kited by range, and half heals compared to actual healers. Okay, so let's go over some of our abilities and what they do, why they're so important, what order you should be using them in. To engage on your opponent, you want to be using this one here, Sensual, I think it is. The reason being is that when you use it, you target it on your enemy and you hit them. Not only do you stun the enemy, but you also gain 1 pip. Now, quite often I'll jump into a battle, I won't have a pip, and then I'm completely useless until I'm able to get 1 back. You also need to be using Righteous Parry in order to be able to use one of your most important skills, Holy Warrior. Holy Warrior is incredibly important at a later level. At level 23 or level 24, you'll unlock a slot that will halve Holy Warrior's cooldown, as well as you'll heal other allies. So we have a look at it here. Reduces the cooldown by 24 seconds, improves auxiliary gain by 50%, and it heals your most injured ally, and it scales with support power. The Devotion, and you get this one here, also scales with support power. So support power, intelligence. So like this ability here, I also use Headbutt. Headbutt is just another ability that I use in order to engage or disengage, usually disengage because it doesn't give me the extra pip. This skill here, Reproach, is a combo skill that breaks off Reproach, then Castigate, then you either choose Radiant Sweep or Righteous Smash. Radiant Sweep is an AoE knockdown, and Righteous Smash does damage in a cone area. The Radiant Sweep, the knockdown is fairly useful, but parry is generally better. Righteous Smash also increases your energy regain. So the 2 most important abilities that you're going to be using on cooldown would be Divine Light and Devotion. Divine Light's going to place the circle heals down. That's going to heal all your allies. It's going to hurt your enemies. It's going to give you pips back. Very, very important to be using. And Devotion, what it does, it heals your allies around you based on the damage that you inflict once per second. There are some talents that can enhance that ability. So you want to be using this one here. Get this one. It scales with support power. So your 2 primary stats that you should be leveling is the Intelligence and Spirit. Mainly Intelligence because you get the healer modifier bonus, and with support power you get that for a whole bunch of different things. So for example, if you had a good weapon, it could be plus 250 or 400 support power as an example. So we've talked about Holy Warrior a little bit. Basically you want to be using it to save your allies life when they're on low HP, in order to use it, ensure that you're using parry often, and it can be flash cast. So what that basically means is that you can use it instantaneously. There's no global cooldown on that. Judgment, that's a combo ability that goes into execute. So the damage isn't that great when your enemy is at full HP, but once they're under 35%, you get 100% critical strike modifier, and the damage does between 200 and 300 plus 167% of your weapon damage. So you could be hitting 4, 5, 6, 700, that adds up very quickly. Run alongside them, cast execute a few times, you can get a kill. So just know you get the free action from the major escape artists, and I use Naiad because I like to use the grasp and root occasionally. In the passive tree, you've got to use the minor disciplines. I currently have, due to the patch that should be coming soon, Overwhelming Odds basically increases my resist all around for 7% as long as there's enough enemies around me. I also use Matching Plate, so because I wear full plate, it gives me an extra 100 support power. And I like to use the Paladin. Paladin's the last passive that you get once you hit level 25 on your character. This increases your critical healing chance by 2% for 15 seconds each time an ally is healed. So if you're doing your job and you're healing your group, the longer the fight goes on, the better your heals are going to be. Next, I have free action, or I use grasp and roots. It depends on the build and team comp at the time. The reason I like to have free action is because If it's a large siege, what it does, it liberates group members and yourself gaining immunity to crowd control effects for 5 seconds. So it could be instantly flash cast. If we're all launching into the enemy, there's 20 people there, there's 20 of us, we're all running in. Okay, I like to use this as soon as we make contact because I will straight away start trying to crowd control the enemies, and quite often I'll get a knockdown of like 5 people right in front of me. If they use free action, that wasn't going to happen to them. What that gives us a chance is in order to jump on 1 or 2 people and kill them and sway the fight in our direction. So all classes have a special ability. Ours is called Brilliance. It's really useful for blinding large groups of enemies, and also does minor damage and creates a barrier around you. So if you decide to play the paladin subclass, I suggest that, like I said before, you get all of these. Ones that you don't need are maximum stamina per point. You don't need that. Combat in and out of health regen. Out of combat and in combat you don't need, and damage bonus for fire. You don't need that, but you want to get that if you do play the Vindicator. That will allow you to get. That will give you enough points in order to unlock everything. Max for those few. So some of the things you should be doing to be effective is finishing enemies below 35% with execute, carrying down groups of enemies and peeling for your allies, diving deep with your front lines to break up the enemy lines and breaking up their formation, getting as much attention as possible, as well as acting as an anchor point. I think that covers everything that I wanted to go over. I'd like to do guides on all classes, but there's so much to learn and stuff is still changing. If you have a build, a playstyle you'd recommend, I would love to read about it and perhaps do a guide on that. These clips that I am playing at the moment are recorded on the test servers, so I'm really hoping for some of the new graphical changes. It's super sweet. Okay, let me know what you guys really need in the way of guides. Don't forget to subscribe. Alright guys, coffee out.